Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I hope you're well. We're back out here on the 61 this evening. Went in and ate, got myself something to drink. Got the cough kind of calmed down a little bit, so we're going to tear this top end off of this. It really won't take very long. Put you guys together another video. Like I said in the last video, hopefully, we're on the road to recovery and, hopefully we don't catch this garbage again for a while, but, whatever, it is what it is. I've got a little pan here below me that I'm going to put parts in. And I didn't show it in that other video, but this clutch actually came with two different sprockets. It come with the 7-pin that we put on it, and then actually had an 8-pin that came with it. But I'd honestly bought several 8-pin sprockets a while back to put on some of my larger saws, but who knows, maybe once we get this thing done it'll have enough grunt to pull an 8-pin with this bar. And we will probably try to get the drags dialed in on it and see if we can get that chain a little more aggressive. I may just try to cut a big portion of those things off, but whatever, who knows. We'll just have to see. Let me make sure I've got you guys in frame good. Kind of hard to look around, look through a 2-inch monitor to see what you're doing from an angle, but those are always on these modern saws, reverse rotation. And the other video, when you could hear that scrub, it was just these springs. Or I could have just done something like that, knocked them through a little bit and quietened it down some, I guess. But I'm just glad that we've got a good functional clutch set up on the saw. There's another bearing in that. I definitely don't want to get it mixed up. I actually think it's 066 wrist pin bearing. Let's put it in here for now. And the reason I'm taking the clutch off is for when we get the other top end on, to get our degree wheel set up on it. And if I block view or knock you guys out of the frame, I'll just go ahead and apologize. I like to take the handlebar off of these saws when I'm doing port work. I know it ain't for everyone. Some of them you don't have to, some of them I leave it on, but it just gets it out of the way, makes things a little simpler to do. That's a little odd. Usually we'll have, hex head screws that, take an Allen wrench, but these have 5/16 screws put in them. There is something that's a little weird about this saw. If you'll notice, the tank plastic and the starter cover is a lot lighter than this, and it ain't that it's just faded. And the cylinder that's on it, I don't know till we get it off, but it almost looks aftermarket. You can see how shiny it is. Not really too common with the other ones I've done, and I've done 3 of these within a year here, which ain't really a lot to some people, but 3 of the same series saw porting them. And there's video on all 3. One of them we actually go in depth on, show how the saw ran before and after. It wasn't like a night and day improvement, but it was easy to tell in the footage of the video that it was a pretty good improvement. In most cases, on just a grind it job or port job, base gasket delete, hell, I've seen as much as a 30% improvement, believe it or not. Obviously upping the compression, the static compression of the saw, or In the case of a two-stroke, you're actually increasing dynamic compression as well, because you're changing port duration in most cases, but those are most always a flat head. It's kind of unneeded to take this off, but this is something I like to do. I like to use the flywheel to spin my degree wheel. We actually have a degree finder now as well, one of the digital ones from Dyno Joe. Pretty neat device. I may get it out and show it on this. I don't know if I've shown it in another video or not, but it makes checking like total port duration like really fast and simple. You can set that thing up, and guys, I've got a big bright video light on here right now, so it's kind of blinding me. I've said that in other videos, but that thing pretty neat. You can get your exhaust port open, zero it out, and you know, run port down the bottom, piston bottom dead center and back up, and get your total duration that way. And I know I've seen some guys say that they don't care about total duration on an exhaust port, which don't make any sense to me. Ain't that what we're doing by putting a degree wheel or finder on the saw to get the port duration? Or at least that's the way I do it. They're tight. Now, it's all just simple math to say you've got a saw that has 150 degrees of duration. Your port's roughly open on 105 degrees. Got one to 160, exhaust port's open at 100, or vice versa. Intake's same way. You know, I've seen guys say that they don't care what number it opens, they just care about total duration. Well, again, you know, I guess everybody has their own way of thinking or thought, but again, it's just simple math. You're shooting for 150 degrees of intake duration. That port's gonna open around 75 degrees. I mean, it's all just simple math. But you know, we may get into that. That may be the next video, but this video tonight, we're just gonna tear this thing down and see what we have. Okay, this has the dual modules on it. The last couple that I done just had one single coil on it. I'm assuming this one's a trigger and one's the actual coil. This one will be your actual coil with the wire coming off, and this other one will be your trigger or module or whatever. Like your 288s will have the module here, and then actually have a coil up top to fire the plug. And we do need to get into that. That's what I'm going to get into after this project. And I don't know why big arms blocking you guys. So let's get down to like 12 degrees tonight, start pouring the snow about 2 in the morning, and not quit until early in the morning. But then, to my understanding, it's all supposed to just clear back out and get warm again. You know, it is what it is. I hope this turns out good. If the camera shakes every now and then, or I'm touching and looking around, I'm trying to glance around just to make sure that I've not hit the GoPro or the tripod. And take note that I've got lights pointing on this everywhere, and it's super bright. This old saw is really clean. Almost like it's been cleaned. I don't know, it's kind of crazy how low a compression it is, but you can kind of see that cylinder, it almost looks aftermarket, but I'm gonna have to get it off before I can see if, you know, what markings it's on it, if it's a Molly. I don't know if they put any KS cylinders on these or not. I know there's a lot of Huskies had KS cylinders on them, but just like steel. air filter is not half bad. Does have the larger carburetors. Let's see, let's move the muffler and the dogs. You have to take the dogs off on these because, well, you have to take this top bolt out. Because one of the muffler bracket itself, I paused there because I was about to start hacking. That wasn't right. I've got two different screw guns set up here, one with 1/4 inch and one with 3/8. And I'll tell you, this 20 volt DeWalt, it is a powerful little gun, no joke. The 12 volts like a high torque, you know, it has multiple settings on it, but it has just got nothing on that 20 volt. My old 18 volt, I've got to order some batteries. They kind of, one of them went bad close to about a year ago, and then the other one's not holding charge very long at all now. So, but I've had that stuff since 2016. Where's my pick? We put a roof on the house, and I went and just bought a whole new DeWalt set with the screw gun and drill and sawzall, and it's all still good. It has the flashlight with it, but the batteries have just went bad. And any of the time the guys at the flea market that sell that stuff have them, hell, they want 50 bucks for one freaking battery. I can get Chinese ones for about 30 bucks. I think that's the route we're gonna go. And I bought a new charger not too long ago for the 18 volt. Let's see. Those are 5/16. Boy, it'd be really good to have some penetrating lubricant on them, but as usual, I don't see it laying anywhere. Maybe it's on this other bench. That doesn't look like a negative. I'm sure it's here somewhere. As usual, you never find nothing when you need it around here. Let's just hope they come off without snapping. Usually jarring them with the impact little. Pull them right off, but it's always good to use a little penetrating lubricant of some kind. And once again, I'll make sure I've got you guys in frame. Come out of there. Weird. Huh. That stud stayed in the muffler. The other one stayed in the block, and our nut's still stuck inside of the socket. I'll pause you guys and knock the nut out of my socket before I lose it. It's in there pretty good, honestly. Took an air hose and blowed it out. It really wasn't wanting to jar out of there. I don't know, it's probably OEM cylinder. It just been there a while. You can get some vice grips out, start knocking the cameras over. The best way to remove that would probably be to double nut it, but We have some 20-year-old brand name vice grips. Doesn't really make them any better than the cheap ones, but let's see. There we go. Like I said, the proper way to do that would have been to double nut it and take it out, but if one of you guys say you don't use pliers and vice grips on something, I'm gonna call you a liar. You know. And let's see if we can get this one. She is in the muffler really good. I was hitting that against a wooden surface, so no chances of messing with that. Dang, she is in there. That gasket off. No heat shield. This muffler is a really weird design. Like I said, I've had 3 of these saws here. I've honestly never seen this muffler factory fish gill, but the way it's made, it looks like it would kind of blow back. I don't know. What I think I may do at the end is just cut that out with the plasma cutter and see if we can find a deflector here to put on it. Maybe try to find a couple deflectors. We gotta do something with that muffler, just not really caring a whole heck of a lot for that now. What we have next, fuel line, which doesn't look half bad, like it's been replaced. The deal is, all of the info's wore completely off of the tag on this thing, so it doesn't make it real easy to see exactly what those cases are. But I think this was a linesman's saw on a power company truck. Maybe Simple Man come in, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the culprit behind it. Just something I like to do. It is seeping a little fuel out. That's a good thing. That means we got a little tank pressure in there. Some of them you pull that line off, and I've actually had it spray back in my mouth and everywhere. Hold your ears, guys. Hopefully the compressor don't kick on, but we got a port full of carbon. Wire off. What next? Throttle linkage, and then the choke, and there should be a supposed to be a screw back here, but I'm looking to try to find the dang thing. There's normally a screw back here. There's one. Normally on the other side. What's weird on this, yeah, this one doesn't have it. That's kind of weird. What I mean is there's normally this there's normally a screw over here you have to pull out. I'm not seeing it on this saw. That's kind of weird. You need to be careful taking this out. Them things, that one come out really easy, but these triggers can be super fragile. I actually had one split, but it was a kind of an easy fix. I just come down below it and drilled a little hole. And you don't want to lose that. I'm sure it'd cost you $10 or $12 to get another one. But it looks like we're about ready to yank cylinder bolts. Gotta pop the choke lever out. Fuel line's off, choke lever's off, throttle linkage is off. I'm honestly not seeing the screw that goes in this elbow. I know I'm not crazy, I know there's supposed to be one there somewhere. It lo and behold, it is not. No, that's weird. So just this whole saw is a little weird, to be brutally honest with you. I'm just kind of wondering if over years and time there hadn't been some parts swapped out and mixed and matched. I have 2 of these here somewhere. This one may break on loose. Oh, those are bigger. I need that anyway. The M6. Yeah. Nice and tight. Lets me know if the outlet's ever been off. Who knows, could be a... It doesn't look like the typical 61 cylinders I'm used to seeing is what I'm getting at. Just the color of it's different. We'll know here in just a couple seconds. But all the others I've done were a little newer than this saw as well. But the crankcase paint being so much lighter than the plastic color kind of makes me wonder. And then it has the big long nameplate, but there's nothing on it. It's all either been scraped off or it's all worn off. But we do know it is one of the older saws, mainly due to the dual trigger setup. Alright guys, we should be ready to come off of there. And that, like I said, that's odd. There's not even a place for the extra bolt that goes in the back. Still has a base gasket on it. That's probably a horrible video, but we're just gonna start shooting some like this and letting them go, you know, with not a bunch of edits. I don't think we'll need that to go back, but as you can see, I hang a bunch of gaskets back here. Getting the bolts out of there. I like to separate my cylinder bolts usually. But these are the big bolts, so it's definitely a 61. Cylinder's real nice. I don't know if it's a GoPro, how well it'll pick up inside of it, but she is nice, real nice shape. Just for carboned up. Guys, I'll probably clip this in, but I got to looking a little closer in some better light, and it is a KS cylinder, not a Husqvarna, so they usually have killer timing numbers on the KS stuff, so, you know, who knows, if we don't like the way it runs with what we do, we'll get us a Meteor piston or something similar, maybe try to locate an OEM, and may end up this back on it, who knows. I guess what I need to do now is get my carb set up off of it and get that set to the side. Hopefully these OEM gaskets stay on. To my understanding, the what research I've done, the 272 cylinder uses different bolts and I think a different intake blocks. So like I said, I went ahead and pre-ordered all of that and have it here. That gasket actually stayed on the cylinder. I do have multiple sets of these gaskets, but they're all aftermarket, and I'm just going to leave that stuck on there. See what we come up with, I guess. Set this over here out of the way. Set this jug over here. Gotta get our piston off of it. Just pretty simple, usually just a pick and pop circlips out. And there's one. It's usually a done deal. Or this design, we don't even need a pick. I just need a pair of needle nose. It's probably a horrible tear down video, I know. I do feel a lot better after I went in and ate a bite though. It usually helps. I may or may not have had some Mountain Dew, you know, with a shot of 130 proof in on some ice. That kind of makes you feel a little better too when you're sick, or at least always does me. Well, there, you little bastard. Oh, that one was in there. It came out, I don't know where it went, probably in the crankcase. No doubt in my mind. But we'll flush that out. Yeah, I probably should check, see all the dang bearings in it felt. They feel awesome. I'd say we will end up having to put seals in it eventually. As forgot now, we're just mainly trying to spice it up a little bit to where it's more of a usable work saw. Let's see if we can just drive that through. I really don't like beating on those at all. Usually they'll just come right out. That one's already started moving. Sometimes once you break it loose, it'll just push out. This one's going to be a bastard all the way out, it feels like. It's never a good thing to beat against your crank, but you know, the saw's not, it can move. It's not like we're hitting it the dead blow or anything. I should have a new wrist pin here for that, but you can see why she was chattering and rattling. She has got some skirt wear. Probably worse on the intake side. That's normally where you're going to see it, but it looks pretty bad actually on both sides. Cylinder. That's pretty damn bad. I don't know what the ring gap is. That piston just be holy shit. I don't know if I can get that to pick up or not, guys, but about what I was expecting. She got some, maybe you can get the light to hit it just right. Hopefully you can see that, but that's probably, holy crap. We grind some nitrous on that or a supercharger or something. That's probably upwards of 25 thousandths ring end gap. Yeah. Worn out. Well, that's about all we can do in this video, I guess. The next video we will get our cylinder and piston out and get it mocked up on the saw. Lots of other projects coming. We got a 2186 Johnny that the plastic and tank's kind of busted up on, but we've got belongs to Simple Man. got a 385 or 390 tank and new plastic to go on it. Gonna do that. We're gonna port it once we get it running, and you know, make sure that it's a good sound saw. He sent up little MS 250, told me to do what I wanted with it, that he wanted it as hot as I could get it. So we're gonna try to make a little screamer out of that. What else? I know a lot of you guys are here for the Farmer Tech stuff. I promise we're getting back into it. Maybe after this build we'll go back into one of those 660s, maybe the big bore one. Have had that saw out. It's a badass saw, but it does need the intake timing choked up on it to suit me a little better. It's just got a couple little hiccups with it, but I think anyone could take it and be happy with it. The other one we're doing more of a race saw out of. I want to go back into it and do some more work with the transfers and do a few other little tricks to it and cut a little more out of the squish band. But and then I've got a 460 kit that I bought Black Friday sale that I opened it, but that's about it. We're going to try to do a video series on that as well. So, and we've got McCullough's here. I know some people subbed over to McCullough stuff, but guys, you got to be in the mood to work on a Mac. Or at least ways I do, but lots of projects for you guys. I'm going to quit running my mouth and end this and head toward the house while it's not pouring the rain. By now you should have seen part 1. I'll try to get this uploaded in the morning or something, but as always, thank you guys. Welcome to all the new subs. I hope you hang around. Click the notification bell. It'll let you know, little bell beside of the sub button. It'll let you know when I'm uploading a new video, and you know, y'all have a good one.